doing this, sir?
Absolutely. Good to be here. Nice to see you.
For sure. For those that didn't listen to the first episode we did, maybe just give us a quick kind of 2 minutes on your background and what Ripple does.
So real quick, I've been in Silicon Valley doing tech stuff for 23 years. We got here in 97, kind of .com 1.0. Always been kind of involved in leading edge and hopefully not bleeding edge stuff. And the first job I had out here was we were rolling out the first cable modems in the country. And then Yahoo for a bunch of years, I'm shortening this, but Yahoo for a bunch of years and a couple other things on the investment side of things. Joined Ripple 5.5, closing in on 6 years ago. Early days of crypto. And suffice to say, it's been just an incredible journey, both crypto at large, but also seeing, Ripple grow from kind of an idea, the germination of, how we thought about, applying these technologies, not in kind of experimentation and speculation, but hey, real utility, let's solve a problem. Let's be clear about who our customer is. We now have publicly shared, we're doing, we're closing in on a run rate of kind of $10 billion a year of transactions across RippleNet, about 20% of that through what we call on-demand liquidity, which are XRP-enabled transactions. We're continuing to see a lot of growth. We can talk more about the implication of COVID, but that's some of the high-level things. We're about 500 employees globally and cranking along.
Awesome. What exactly is Ripple and RippleNet, just for those that don't know that?
Sorry. So Ripple is, in effect, what I say, I grew up in Kansas, as you and I have discussed once or twice. And when I tell my friends back home, in effect, Ripple, the simple way to think about it, we're an enterprise software company, and we sell software to banks, financial institutions, payment providers that enables them to do real-time cross-border transfers. Today, we have different value networks. It is, I think, very analogous to early days of the internet, where sending an email between AOL and CompuServe, that was not interoperable. They were disparate networks and you couldn't send messages between them. The internet comes along and technologies like TCP/IP come along and SMTP, and the ability to then have interoperable data networks enable things that we obviously rely upon today. In effect, Ripple's trying to do the same thing to make value networks interoperable towards the vision of enabling an internet of value, what we call an internet of value. And today, the most painful part of those non-interoperable value networks, I think, is really in cross-border transactions, where you're going cross-currency, cross-network, cross-institution. There's a lot of friction there. I often have used an analogy of an airplane that performance, scalability, and energy consumption to Bitcoin. And one of the things I think we will hear more about in 2020 is the sustainability. XRP really has been the greenest of digital assets. It's just shocking to me that we haven't heard more attention around the impact of the energy consumption of Bitcoin and Ether. There's some news earlier this year talking about one Bitcoin transaction is the equivalent of almost 1 month's energy consumption of a U.S. household. By comparison, the energy consumption used for XRP transactions is negligible. We clearly are seeing the lockdown, the kind of shelter-in-place dynamics have a big impact on cash-first remittance companies. So if you're unable to go to a physical store, then obviously you should expect that to go down. But we've also seen significant increases in digital-first players. I think various public companies have shared decrease. That also is, I think, good for us as we work with some of the central banks